Welcome, everybody, yet another episode of the Wrestling vs. the World podcast. If you're all listening and enjoying your day, amazing. If not, well, depending on who you are, this episode may give you a bit of a twitch or maybe PTSD, depending on this whole incident. So, last time I discussed the WWE Copyright Armageddon of 2012, where WWE was going on a copyright strike spree starting in September 2012 to clean the website of sorts from controversial content that could be used against Linda for her Senate campaign at the time. Well, it's now time to discuss the other period where WWE content was being taken down, but with some oddities thrown in. This whole thing, at least in my earliest recollection, started in April of 2020. It may have had some instances before then, but this was the first time this whole incident was being brought to my attention, courtesy of my own interactions and experience. So this was on the night of WrestleMania 36 Night 2, so that was about April 5th or April 6th of 2020. I got home around 6:30 p.m. that evening, half an hour before the WrestleMania 36 Night 2 airing would begin, and my grandfather and I were working on the garbage disposal for our sink because it was kind of getting clogged up for some reason. As we were getting this whole clog thing fixed, I saw my phone light up from the home screen, and it said I had a notification. Checked it, and it said I had a copyright strike, not a video being blocked worldwide, strike takedown on my TheDoubleZTV channel. Had a handful of videos together all in that one strike by a company known as MarkScan Enforcement, which easily perplexed me because I had never heard of this organization before. So I tweeted out a copy of the email, and I just simply said, who is MarkScan Enforcement? What right do they have to take down WWE content? I mean, that was the whole thing perplexing. As this whole thing began, I put a video on my Zuniga's Man channel, the current variety channel, with a whole thing showing, hey, the channel's got a strike. I don't know what's going on. So, about 2 hours later, TheDoubleZTV was gone. Copyright strikes enough to get the channel terminated. In fact, let me look at the emails as I am recording this, because this is going to be pretty shocking, because it took until months ago for you to finally stop emailing me this, because it was just complete mind-boggling. At the end of the day, with the amount of strikes that I got, I had accumulated a total of 22 copyright strikes on the channel by the time it was all said and done. And YouTube took forever to stop emailing me reminders saying, hey, your channel's gone. But before this all happened, I noticed something odd regarding the uploads. Back right before this whole thing happened, starting in the beginning of that month, I was uploading some videos for scheduled uploads on TheDoubleZTV, and I noticed that videos were being blocked in multiple countries that were tagged as WWE content, which had not happened prior to this. And I remember messaging Brothers Destruction 22 on Twitter. I was like, hey, videos have been getting blocked lately in multiple countries by WWE, at least in my end. Has this been happening to you? And he said that he had not seen that happen to him yet. And then, of course, after this, my channel was terminated. One thing I noticed along the way was that out of all the videos that were getting taken down, they seemed to be more recent videos, but none of them were videos that were blocked in multiple countries, like India, Sri Lanka, and a handful of others. Well, as time went along, well, of course, throughout that night that was happening during WrestleMania, I completely tuned out of WrestleMania 36 because losing my channel was not a fun thing. I went to bed after doing a live stream on my TheDoubleZTV channel, the original one, not the one that this episode is being uploaded on. And the next afternoon, I woke up before 1 p.m., and I will admit this right now, with my gaming channel, I was having videos playing on a loop, like there were playlists on my gaming channel in order to try to help get the watch time up to hopefully get the channel growing again. And when I woke up, it was somewhere around between 12:30, maybe 12:45 in the afternoon, because, I didn't have anything to do. Work was down due to the pandemic. And the video at that time was, and Trevor and Michael, GTA 5. So it was a video that I have showing the two missions in the game where you either end Michael or end Trevor in GTA 5 story mode. Well, the next video was supposed to play, courtesy of the playlist, but I saw an error message on the screen when it was time for that video to start. Check the screen, and it said this video cannot be played because the video associated with this channel the channel associated with this video has been terminated. Check my phone, check my emails. I had 2 emails for TheDoubleZTV and 2 for the gaming channel. The only 2 channels out of the 5 that I had at the time that was actually monetized on this platform. Both email addresses saying that the channels were terminated and Super Chat were disabled. The channel saying, oh, these channels are terminated for being linked to a channel that was terminated for copyright strikes. Meanwhile, the other 2 channels that I had, my current Zuniga's Mad channel, back then known as TheDoubleZTV Vlogs, and WWE is War, were untouched. So that whole mystery still does not make sense. So within about 17 hours, I lost both of my 3 of my biggest channels. I go on Twitter, and one of the very first things I see was a guy known as Get Down, pretty much sending me multiple tweets, pretty much boasting about the fact that my channel was terminated. He was pretty much glad about it. So, of course, I blocked him after that. Well, I believe after this, I believe it was Secondhand Wrestling on Twitter, most likely turned my attention to this, saying that there was a Twitter account at the time known as All Rights Reserved that was tweeting about channels getting terminated out of nowhere. So I checked the account and I saw that the most recent post at that point was about the announcement that my channel had been taken down, and also been tweeting about other channels that had been taken down prior to this, which was rather peculiar. How does this person know about this stuff? But then right after that, guess what? I'm suddenly blocked by All Rights Reserved despite never interacting with that account. And I get blocked by there right after I blocked Get Down for boasting about my channel getting taken down. Well, after this, more channels started getting terminated by MarkScan enforcement. Channels I can think of, we remember Monsoon Classic got taken down. Let's see, there was Riot, Tyler Desjardins. I think he actually got terminated before this whole thing. He may have been one of the first casualties. That Damn Good, BDWJ. I'm trying to think of any others off the top of my head. I know I've got all these emails. Like, I know there's some people that also got strikes from this company, like Andre Corbeil. I know he got a strike on his original channel. So many others. I've had so many people coming to me since this whole thing began about their experiences and losing their channels when this all began. But channels were just getting terminated left and right. But one had happened caught my attention. It was Delete by Fate. YouTuber who has content, of course, all things related to the Hardy Boys. He got in a bit of a fight with Get Down on Twitter, and the exact same day that he had a fight with Get Down, his channel gets terminated by MarkScan enforcement. Really caught my attention there, seeing how that was a bit of an odd situation / coincidence there. So channels started still getting taken down left and right, as I mentioned. And of course, right after I lose my channel, I make a new one. And a certain brash one made a video claiming that people were harassing him and blaming him and sending him death threats over my channel getting taken down, which I know for a fact did not happen. But I saw in the comments of that video, and I may have the screenshot. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll try my best to have a link to this folder for my Google Drive in the description, because I've got so many screenshots and everything that's happened involving all this whole dilemma since it began. There was a comment by somebody who was saying that they were glad that my channel was taken down and that I should go to jail for having that channel in the first place. Very peculiar. Well, channels started getting taken down more and more. And during the time period, the only 4 channels that I know that survived all this were Orton is God, Mr. TH14, Brothers Destruction 22 in terms of his main channel. I know he lost his backup channels. And Attitude Pop, who kept his main channel but also lost his backup channels. To my knowledge, to how they survived, Mr. TH14, Brothers Destruction 22, and Attitude Pop deleted all their videos, which saved their channels. And Orton is God, I believe, deleted his videos and started still re-uploading them to make sure they got blocked in multiple countries. Because it seems like that was more of a key thing for safety. It's like any video, like I said with my original channel, videos that were blocked in multiple countries did not get a strike. And I still have those emails to this day because of YouTube's constant reminders. Well, it was either Brothers Destruction 22 or Attitude Pop that made a post on one of their channels through a community post announcing that they were still not back up and running because things were not looking safe. And Delete by Fate made a comment on that post, again, from whichever one of the two made the post to begin with, talk about this, and somebody replied to Delete by Fate's comment, warning him, saying, prepare to lose another YouTube channel. That exact person was the exact same person who said that I should go to jail over having ZTV. So somebody saying I should go to jail, also warning Delete by Fate to prepare to lose another channel, which thankfully he has not done. Why does that sound familiar? Oh wait, that's right. That's the exact same guy who freaking got in an argument with Delete by Fate on Twitter just like right after I lost ZTV. Get down. How peculiar. Now, apparently, from what I've seen, I also saw it through that All Rights Reserved channel or Twitter account. The person behind that account, who Get Down was denying was being behind that account, but I know that's utter BS. That account pretty much outright admitted to trying to contact all of these companies to let people know that their wrestling content was being re-uploaded by fan channels in order to get them taken down, because for some reason it upset him and affected him so much. Like, to this day, I do not understand why this bothered him so badly. It has no direct impact on him. You can obviously tell that. And again, I got some of the tweets and little screenshots in that folder where the person admitted, yeah, I'm contacting these companies to get these videos taken down. So it was rather odd there. And apparently his reason was, oh, you guys are costing them views, yada, yada, yada. Well, this would be where his hypocrisy bites him in the ass. Because I remember I did a live stream on my channel about this whole MarkScan enforcement drama, talking about how it had taken a dark turn and reading tweets of people talking about this company and their takedowns and everything. And I caught the attention of a group on Discord. And I can't remember the name of the group, and I know the server is no longer active. And I get invited in there with some creators that are within the wrestling community of sorts that use footage like for Titantrons and everything. And we all start discussing our theories about what's going on in this whole thing with MarkScan enforcement. And I bring up this person that was leaving comments from YouTube that I mentioned earlier. And we realized it was Get Down behind that comment, saying the guy is so anti-fan channels because it's costing views. But then somebody, I can't remember exactly who, but somebody went through the Wayback Machine and looked up his YouTube channel and saw that this exact same guy used to upload WWE videos to YouTube as well back in the day. And that is also a screenshot in the folder. So he's somehow against channels that upload WWE videos, yet he used to do it back in the day as well. In fact, I think we may have found him on a website called VBox7, which is more of a Russian video sharing platform, under his name Get Down on there, and apparently he's still got WWE videos on there to this day. And also there was a bit of an investigation too. He is so against people re-uploading content because, oh, it's costing views. But yet, also in the folder, he was caught on Reddit sharing Shaul Guerrero's Patreon-exclusive content for free to Reddit. So therefore, he's costing views to Shaul Guerrero, but also, besides that, also costing her revenue, because why would she be getting any money or views from anybody if somebody's posting something for free to Reddit? Because at least with the WWE content being shared to YouTube, the videos still have ads playing on there, and the ad revenue goes to the copyright owner when it's caught through the Content ID system. So yeah, WWE's not really getting the views, but then again, some of them are videos that they don't even have uploaded to begin with, but they're financially profiting off those videos because of the Content ID system and how it works on YouTube. So WWE's still making profit financially. So this guy was found to be a complete and utter hypocrite because Shaul Guerrero was not benefiting in any way, shape, or form with him re-uploading her Patreon exclusive content. And in fact, I'm going to read you right here a post from Reddit from r/SquaredCircle, a post called Wrestling Channels Being Terminated, because this is still relevant. So here's what the post says. Over the course of a couple of months, Multiple channels have been taken down by an Indian-based company called MarkScan Enforcement. The company is not affiliated with WWE, which had people in confusion as to why these channels had been terminated. Someone on Twitter with the handle @GetDown, was changed to @ and a bunch of letters, has been behind the termination of these channels. He's been contacting MarkScan Enforcement to take these channels down, which he'd been called out for on Twitter. Wrestling channels such as Dashing RKO 619, Broken Black, and many others had been terminated. Wrestler editor you're probably familiar with named AJ Universe, @TheAJ exposes him, which led to him privating his Twitter account. Wrestling content creators are now hesitant to post videos on YouTube. He's behind the termination. If you own a wrestling channel dedicated to content from NJPW, AEW, WWE, or any wrestling organization, back up your files. This will not end as YouTube is allowing this to happen. And that is a theory myself and others suspected either this guy is contacting MarkScan Enforcement or he's working with them to get channels taken down, because it seems like that was his only other option, because since contacting these companies wasn't getting videos taken down like he wanted so badly, this seemed like his only other option to guarantee that his mission succeeded. Which was why also it took a while for Brother Destruction 22 and Attitude Pop and eventually myself to eventually come back with uploads. So that's why things were slow to come back, because we weren't exactly certain on if it was safe to return or not. And of course, the same guy, after he got exposed, he privated his Twitter account, either privated or got rid of his YouTube channel because his comments that I mentioned before can't be found, and he also privated his Facebook account because people found that as well. And also, don't worry about that Twitter handle, folks, @GetDown, because yours truly's got that Twitter handle now on a side account to make sure he can't get it back. Hint, hint. But yeah, that's pretty much been the whole gist of everything that happened. This company, myself and others don't believe that WWE hired this company before, because you also look back at what happened in 2012. They were wiping out channels left and right in videos all over the place, all on their own. Then all of a sudden this company comes along, and it wasn't even to that severity. Like, yeah, one or two channels would be taken out at least knowingly per day. It would be like take down an entire channel, eventually move on to another one, all just with MarkScan Enforcement. But then with WWE, when they were doing it in 2012, they're just wiping out everything they could find all over the place. Almost like a frantic mode, instead of having a third party getting involved. So, and at least as of this recording, ever since that happened, with the guy getting exposed, I haven't really heard much of anybody in the wrestling community getting terminated by this company since then. I have heard some sporadic people through Twitter saying that their channels got taken down because of MarkScan Enforcement, but they weren't in the wrestling community. But it seems like the wrestling community has finally breathed a sigh of relief, at least since that whole thing happened about a year ago with the guy getting exposed. It seems like things are finally calm. Videos have been started to be re-uploaded. We know some of the secret things to look for when doing uploads. Like the major thing, if you're uploading WWE content, like matches and everything, make sure they get blocked in multiple countries for your own safety. And I know some people at times will ask, like, oh, have you heard anything about more with MarkScan Enforcement now or then? And I keep saying I haven't heard anything because nobody else has really come forward in a while saying that their channel's been taken down since probably last year, at least within the wrestling community forum. So let me know you all thought in the comment section below. It's still a shame that this whole thing happened, because even myself and I know a lot of others tried contacting the company, because the emails, they did not respond back. You couldn't file a counter notice because YouTube just refused to even forward a counter notice to this company. I tried putting counter notice saying that this was done in error. YouTube was like, oh, but you don't own the copyrights and we're not even going to forward your claim. So I was literally up a creek without a paddle. Company was not responding to emails, and I did spot their hypocrisy on Twitter. Hopefully this is in the folder. Anyway, like I said, I believe I've got this screenshot in the folder where the company is supposed to be anti-piracy, but I caught them with a tweet which they eventually deleted after I called them out, pretty much tweeting a link to a website where it was pretty much a pirated website where you could download a show from India, I can't remember the name of it, for free from a clearly third-party website, because it was clearly not any website that was associated with whatever show was being leaked. So, like, let me give you an example. If you all have seen Yu-Gi-Oh!, the original one, you can go on their website and watch those episodes from Yu-Gi-Oh! For free on their official website, because the company owns a trademark with that website, so they can show the original Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that. A kind of an example. whatever show this was that they were sharing a link to was no official website link to this TV show. It was some BS third-party website where you could download these shows for free. Yeah, MarkScan enforcement tweeted out a link to it. And I called them out for saying, hey, you guys are so anti-piracy that you take down the WWE channels, like fan channels, everything, but yeah, you tweet out a link to a website that's clearly pirating a website or TV show like this. Busted. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm sure a lot of you listening to this remember this whole time period and fiasco, especially because I'm probably one of the people that you're listening to that has been most vocal about MarkScan enforcement as this whole thing began. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this whole thing. If you enjoyed the episode, remember, leave a like, comment what you think below, subscribe with the bell, turn on if you're listening to this on YouTube, or follow if you're listening to this on another service, and I'll catch you all next time. Thanks for listening, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, and good day, everybody.